it.
We didn't give up. We kept fighting.
Every single possession.
We just got to figure out a way to win a game.
Basketball fans, on your feet. Here come your Bulls.
Stolen by Massenberg, dunked for the right hand. Flashy no-look pass over to Summerhead Phillips. Wilkins three, good. McRae the follow dunk. Sensational move from the freshman.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to UB Basketball Insider presented by ECMC. My name is Paul Peck, joined by Bulls basketball coach Nate Oates. Got a game to get you ready for today, 2 o'clock tip-off here at Alumni Arena against Robert Morris. We'll talk a little bit about that. Look ahead to a big week coming up for you, Nate. Look back at some big wins, but let's start with the Colonials. Today's game, pretty good hot team that's won 6 of 7. What's the challenge going to be for stopping Robert Morris today?
You know what? They've got a bunch of young kids. They got 5 freshmen in the rotation. So they started the year out 0-3, playing some pretty good teams with a lot of freshmen playing heavy minutes. So they're really guarding well. They play really hard. And like you said, they've won 6 of their last 7, so they're used to it. And they've won on the road. They've won. I mean, even the one loss they've had in the last 7 games was a 2-point loss on the road. So they're playing as well as anybody, and it's going to be a tough game here today.
Yeah, that'll be a nice challenge for your team to keep you getting ready for the MAC schedule, which comes up in a couple weeks again today, 2 o'clock here at Alumni Arena. Well, looking forward into next week, talk about some challenges. You've scheduled yourself with a couple of pretty good ones. A Tuesday game at Syracuse in the Carrier Dome, and then off to Texas A&M on Thursday. I know you're not thinking about them yet, but give me a little idea of what went into the thought process of trying to play those high-level teams like that.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we try to play a handful of those every year. So we got in the Cayman Islands deal where we were able to play Cincinnati, which is a great game, and I thought our kids really stepped up for that game. I think these kind of games, you know, like we go to the past where we went to Kentucky and Wisconsin and Duke and just a lot, and we've actually played at Texas A&M here before, but some of those games I think give you guys a little bit of confidence. I mean, they hang in those games. They're in that thing. If you could pull a win off, it'd be great, but just being up at the half on Kentucky and Wisconsin, our guys knew when they came back to MAC play, they could play with anybody. So, you know, hopefully we walk into these games and play well. Hopefully we have Wes Clark. You know, he's wrapping up a few academic things yet as we speak, but, you know, if he's able to play, you know, hopefully we'll have our full roster there outside of Carruthers.
And I know part of the reason behind scheduling Texas A&M is to give C.J. Massenberg a chance to go back to Texas. That means something to a player, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what? We wanted to get him back down there. He's been huge for this program, and, you know, going on his year 3 right now. So we called a handful of schools down there. Texas A&M was the one, and I've gotten to know their coaching staff fairly well. I mean, he's been really good to us. He actually sent me a book when Crystal was going through her cancer. He's been through some health issues of his own. So I knew them, and they were willing to bring us down there. And I think hopefully CJ's got a whole crew. Hopefully we've got a whole section there. A lot of CJ Massenberg fans, but I think it'll be fun for him.
Yeah, that will be a lot of fun. And while we're on the topic of CJ, that rolls us into looking back at your last win, which came against Central Penn, 88-54 a week ago. But what was, I think, one of the most interesting things about that game was what CJ continues to do, not only on the offensive side, he had 13 points, but it was his 3rd game this year with more than 10 rebounds as he had 11, as he continues to lead your team and rank in the top 10 in the MAC. As a rebounding guard, I think says an awful lot about what his game has evolved to.
Yeah, he's a tough kid that does whatever it takes to win games. And, you know, we've been struggling to rebound the ball, so he's stepped in there and really gotten – I think he had 5 rebounds before the first media timeout, if I remember right, on last Saturday. And he had 9 again in the first half. He had 9 in the first half at Delaware. So he's pushing a double-double in a half. Maybe we can get him to 10 in the first half tonight. You know, we'll see. But, yeah, he's been doing a great job on the glass for us.
And in the win over Central Penn, you passed Bobby Hurley on the all-time winningest coaches list here at UB. A, have you reminded Hurley about that yet? And then B, kind of look back at what you were able to learn and the opportunity that Bobby Hurley obviously gave you to come here.
No, I have not reminded him. He's on a little bit bigger.
He might remind you that he's 5th in the country as well.
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say he's on a little bit bigger winning streak right now than we are. They've got a roll in there. So, and it took me a little bit over 2 seasons. So, you know, I think he's got a little bit more to say on that. But no, I mean, I'm super appreciative to him. Even now, I've talked to him since they've been winning. Made, you know, some people have him number 1 in the country. I mean, I think the AP poll has him 5th. So he's done a great job there in year 3. And, you know, it took us 2 years with him here to kind of get this thing really rolling. But he's, the opportunity he gave me, and if he didn't give me that opportunity, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So I'm always thank him for that. And every time I see him, I make sure I try to, make sure he knows how grateful I am for the opportunity he gave me. So, yeah, I'm happy for it. I didn't even know that. I'm not really I have no idea where I'm at. We're just trying to win some games here and get ourselves back to the NCAA tournament this year.
Coming up, Athletic Director Alan Green is thankful for a successful 2017 and excited for even more progress in 2018. UB Basketball Insider is back right after this. Buffalo sports fans, let's make Alumni Arena loud on Thursday, December 28th when the UB men's basketball team hosts NJIT at 7 p.m. With tickets starting as low as $10, there's no better way to cap off that holiday fun than cheering on your Bulls. Bring the whole family and your neighbors too. It's sure to be an evening everyone will enjoy. For tickets and more information, call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by CEFCU, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck, now joined by UB Bulls Athletic Director Alan Green as we get you ready for today's men's basketball tip-off against Robert Morris at 2 o'clock. And that's a good chance, Alan, to catch up with you and find out what's going on here on campus. And I think the thing to start with is at this holiday season, you've got a lot to be thankful for because there's a lot of good things going on, starting with the basketball teams that are playing particularly well right now.
I'm so excited with the start of basketball season, especially on the heels of football, which we can get into later. But Coach Jack and Coach Oates have done such an outstanding job of building outstanding programs. The women's basketball team, right? They beat Clemson, right, as in the ACC, and what was the big
Nebraska.
team? In Nebraska, right? So you think about the progress that those teams have made. The men have made tremendous progress as well. Thinking about all the new guys that Nate has on that team and how well they're playing collectively and how much they like each other. It's a completely different aura. So we're really blessed, really thankful to have two basketball programs that are thriving.
Yeah, and you mentioned football. We just wrapped up the football season here with an exciting 6-6 finish to the season. And I know you and a lot of Bulls fans were disappointed that there isn't another game that we're talking about, but that does not take away from a lot of the strides that were made. How excited are you about where the football program is headed, particularly next year, which I think could be really special?
Well, so what people don't really know, right, is going into this season, there was lots of uncertainty from a fan perspective. People didn't know what kind of football team they were going to see. And I tried to articulate to folks in the community and to our fans that we're going to have an exciting and dynamic football team. We were really, really inexperienced last year, 2 years ago. And now we've got some guys who are in the system. They know how to practice. They know how to compete. And we're seeing the results of this past season of all the hard work of our football program.
Well, and you look at next year on the football level, you've got 8 starters back on offense.
Yeah.
You've got 6 on defense. This team will return its leading quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tackler. So, like I said, I'm already excited about what the prospects are next year, but Bulls fans need to be as well, too. And I know that you are, and I know Lance is as well, too, because he's probably the one who's always telling you how good this team can be next year.
Well, there's no question about it. And we talked about that, Coach Leipold and I did in the this past season prior to the 2017 campaign. And we knew that this team was going to be competitive this year, but we also knew and could see into the future a little bit that the 2018 team is going to be even more exciting and more dynamic than the team that we just saw in 2017.
Yeah, well, can't wait for all that to happen. And I know Coach is out busy getting even more players now as recruiting. Well, while we're on this theme of being thankful for a lot of things that are going on here at UB, I know you want to talk a little bit about how thankful you are of the support of the alumni and the fans that have made a lot of really cool things happen around here.
We are incredibly fortunate to have the support that we have. We obviously need more, but to get to the progress where we are right now with the new field house, that $20 or $18 million project, we've got some other things coming online. We've got a fueling station coming online so that our young people can properly hydrate and recover. And with the BRIC campaign that we just announced also, and that is not just for athletic supporters. That is for anybody that is affiliated with the university that wants to have a legacy. And if you think about It's been nearly 20 years that we've been talking about this indoor facility, this project, and to have it come to fruition means that it is a landmark project, and people I would encourage to support that.
Yeah, and anytime you pop on campus or come to a basketball game, you can always kind of peek over there and see what kind of progress is being made, and it's being made on a regular basis. Even beyond the big sports, there's lots of projects going on, like with wrestling, getting their locker room fixed up right now.
I will tell you, there are some passionate people in college athletics, but then there's wrestlers. The wrestling community is incredibly passionate about their craft, and justifiably so. There have been so many former wrestlers who have given back to this project to enhance the locker room experience for our current student athletes, to make it better than it was when they were here. So we're so thankful for their support. The locker room project is going to be a beautifully enhanced facility and much needed.
What kind of message do you have for folks that are out there that can follow in the footsteps of what someone like a Toonie Murchie has done to not only give back to this program to build the football facility, but now have his name on the field house as well, too? There's another group of people that I know are ready to do some of that. What's your message to them?
Yeah, my message to those folks are UB is on the move. We're accelerating. We have a $20 million project going on the heels of a $3 million project prior to that. Moving forward, we're going to work on a strength and conditioning center, which could be about a $5 million project. We are in the plans of getting that thing out to the public here pretty soon. But I want people to know that we have momentum, right? We just did the ribbon cutting for the new medical school downtown. The university is moving, and there are enough people, enough alums, enough community members that want to see the city of Buffalo succeed. And in order for the city of Buffalo to succeed, the University at Buffalo needs to succeed as well.
Yeah, lots of good stuff going on. Lots for you to be thankful about, but most particularly with your family and everything as well, too. And all the Bulls fans out there hopefully having a good holiday season. Alan, always good to catch up.
My pleasure, Paul. Thank you. Go Bulls.
Coming up, Jeremy Harris is one of the Bulls' most versatile players. You'll meet the junior guard from North Carolina when we come back on UB Basketball Insider.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. We're just outside the Bulls locker room here at Alumni Arena. When the Bulls head out that locker room to go on the court, one of the guys who's been a key in the starting lineup is Jeremy Harris, a versatile player who has joined the Bulls from junior college. He has provided a spark with his shooting and his hustle. So here's our chance to meet the Bulls junior from North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Harris. I'm a junior on UB men's basketball team. I grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina. I started playing basketball around the age of 6, always trying to compete with my older brother. High school, I had a good high school career. It was very fun. And then I went to prep school at Fishburne Military Academy, which prepped me for college. And then I went to Gulf Coast State College in Panama City. It's definitely been a long journey, and I really don't regret any steps of my life, but I mean, I just think it made me a better man today. I really became a shooter, I would say, my freshman year of college, because like I put in a lot of work on the gun and outside of practice and just getting up a lot of shots. I think I put in a lot of work this summer and this preseason, and I know a couple guys on the team that's been with me. We've been working pretty hard in the weight room and on the court. Coach Oates loves three-point shots, so I mean, that's kind of what I am, but I mean, I can go to the basket, I can do a little bit of everything.
No look past the Mathenberg. Lob to Harris for the dunk. Whoa, that was pretty.
I chose Buffalo because of the coaching staff, and it came down to UB and Texas Tech, and I chose UB just because I really fell in love with the coaching staff, and I believed in them, and they believed in me. It's definitely a bigger support staff at Division I. Coach Snowden, I really like Coach Snowden because he's a really good motivator, and I mean, I look up to him, and he believes in all of us, and he's just trying to make us better men and basketball players. The 500 shot make club was CJ created it, and he put it on the whiteboard in the locker room, and just seeing all the players on the team names up there with check marks, you just know that your team is in the gym putting up extra shots daily. So I mean, it's just motivation. It was definitely a friendly competition, but I mean, that's part of it. Guys is in the gym every day trying to get, I think it was 500 makes a day, so that's pretty good. When I seen Buffalo attended the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, that really caught my attention because that's really all I'm here for, is trying to get to the NCAA tournament and win the MAC championship.
Well, Jeremy has been an interesting player to watch, Nate. At times, he's had to adjust to this level of basketball, and when he's been on, he's been outstanding and incredibly versatile. And then there are other times where you see he's still trying to figure himself out a little bit. How do you escalate that process a little bit for a kid like Jeremy?
Shoot, if you can figure the answer out, let me know, and I'll escalate it for him. I mean, he's so super talented. You know, we see. I know what his capabilities are. And he's like the Niagara game, he was great. I think he's trying so hard to do the little things it takes to win games, and maybe sometimes it's detracted a little bit from his offensive game, which is what he's best at, scoring the basketball. So hopefully as we move along here, he's really good with the defensive side of it, diving on the floor for loose balls, which he's been doing a good job of it, rebounding, and then, you know, he can still add the offensive part to it, which is what we need out of him.
Do you like the versatility that he gives you? I know you've played him essentially at the power forward spot and the small forward, and he can really play guard as well, too. How much does that help you get the right guys on the court at any one time?
Yeah, I mean, it's really valuable to us because he can play, like you said, he can play four, and he's a little thin to play four, but that's where he's got the best mismatch. A little bit, I mean, he's different than Blake because Blake was, you know, bigger, stronger, not quite as athletic or long as Jeremy, and you know, but playing Blake at the four was his best mismatch because other forwards couldn't guard him. Same thing with Jeremy. So, you know, moving him around different spots, then we can move, you know, if he plays four, Perkins plays five, and then he's a bad mismatch at the five. If we move Perkins up to the four, he can play three, and now we got more size out there. So it gives us a lot of versatility with him. I've even played him at some point guard here and there, you know, with Wes not being here, and then we had some, you know, Carruthers is out now, and so who knows? Maybe next year, like Blake had to move to the one, you know, we've got a, you know, point guard coming in, so I don't think that's going to happen, but he can handle the ball well enough to do that.
You know, you joked about trying to figure out how to get the transition easier, but you've had enough junior college players here that have you started to kind of learn a little bit about maybe what the time frame is for those guys to come from being dominant JC players to now fitting into a team at a higher level?
It's a good question. I think each guy has his own. I mean, if you look at Kadiri last year, it was great for us. I mean, led the league in field goal percentage. He struggled the whole year, his junior year, really, and some of that was injuries, you know, where Blake came in right away. And different guys have different stuff. Some of those guys went Division I, then went junior college and came back to us, where Jeremy was, you know, hasn't played Division I yet. So it's all brand new for him as far as the Division I level. So he's starting to figure it out. I mean, the one thing I'll say with him is his attitude's been unbelievably great through everything. Even when he's struggling offensively and we know how skilled he is, he's still a great teammate, trying to do all the little stuff it takes to win games. So I love his attitude. I think he's, you know, he's a leader on this team, even though he's not the most vocal kid, because he does, you know, he's so talented and he still does all the little stuff that we're asking him to do.
All right, this is our final show of the year before we get into MAC play, so make sure you have a great holiday wrapped around all these basketball games, but enjoy some time with your family. I know you will. A special time for you as well, too.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Bulls head coach Nate Oates.
Coming up, get ready for mayhem on the main stage and the top 5 plays of the week. That's next on UB Basketball Insider.
For nearly 100 years, ECMC has brought hope and healing to Western New York. I'm living proof, and I couldn't be more grateful. Like cancer, we all hope trauma will never happen to us. But when it does, we can rely on ECMC to always be there. I hope you join me to be there for them and help them build their new state-of-the-art trauma center and emergency department. Visit supportecmctrauma.org to help learn how you can support life-saving care.
This is UB Basketball Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This is a big week for the Bulls, some high-profile games. On Tuesday, the Bulls will play in the Carrier Dome against Syracuse, and then a quick trip down to Texas, where they'll play the Aggies of Texas A&M on Thursday. But basketball is not the only hot team here on campus. One of the teams that's getting the job done is the UB Wrestling Squad. Make plans to attend Mayhem on the Main Stage. It's Monday, December 18th, when the UB wrestling team hosts Cornell on the main stage at the Center for the Arts. Tickets are $15 and can be purchased in advance at the Alumni Arena ticket office or by phone at 1-877-UB-THERE.
It's time now for the top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by ECMC. The difference between healthcare and true care. Number 5.
Left wing Gooding, a lefty, tries a 3 over Jordan, no good. Long rebound, great for Buffalo. Javon falls down but shovels the ball away to Perkins. Now up ahead to Jordan. Devontae knifes into the paint. Left corner McCray tries a 3. Montrell hit it. 7 points for Montel McCray, 34-11.
3 of 3 shooting and the best offense I've seen all year long.
Number 4.
Top of the circle, Baylor. Bounces it to the right. Jordan steals it. Devontae with one man to beat, takes it to the basket the other way and lays it in using the left side of the glass.
And using the left hand. That was a really nice play by Jordan, coming off a great game.
Number 3.
He drives on CJ, tries a crazy runner off the glass. Rebound Harris for Buffalo.
Great defense by CJ Massenberg there. Caused a very difficult job.
Reese, left wing 3, good. Well, here's that shooting that Nate Oates was telling us about from James Reese. 42-18 Buffalo, and now a timeout called by Central Penn.
Number 2.
CJ out there with Harris, Jordan, Bertram, and Graves for Buffalo. Graves left wing, lobs it for Harris, a 2-hand slam on the alley-oop.
Just coming in from the backside, Graves, nice set play. Jeremy Harris throws it down to give the Bulls a 31-90.
Number 1.
Central Penn, they've scored the last 7 points in the game. Zola on a drive, lost the handle, taken by Graves. Bulls have numbers. Graves lobs it for McCray. He slams it through. What a finish from Montel McCray. He reached way back behind his head and then tossed it through the rim.
That was a great catch and dunk.
Well, thanks for joining us for this week's edition of UB Basketball Insider. Again, this afternoon here at Alumni Arena, it's the Bulls and Robert Morris in a 2 p.m. tip-off. This is our final show of the year. Have a great holiday. We will be back in January when the Bulls team start their Mac Attack. Thanks for joining us for UB Basketball Insider.